Approval of minutes from the November 13th meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion, additions, or corrections?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are passed. Floor is yours, Trish.
My what? Oh, now the floor's mine. I was gonna say, where's my what? So tonight is an exciting public hearing night that we do every year at this time. And for those of you that are new, that started in May of last year, missed this lovely public hearing where you all recommend the set of amendments that the staff will work on for this year. And so I'm starting out with, the reason we do this is the state requires that we only can amend the comprehensive plan once a year, so that we look at all the amendments cumulatively, so that we don't make changes that will affect each of the other elements. And we have to look at everything together and comprehensively, as the name of the plan is called. And so the piece of that that's important is the council has to establish the list in the beginning of the year, so the public or someone can't come in July and say, oh, can you just add this to the amendment list because we need this done by the end of the year. They have to actually wait till the next year to get on next year's list. So we call ours a docket, and this is how this is also how our comprehensive plan fits in with all the regional plans and the state plans. We have to comply with Vision 2040, which is a regional document, the State Growth Management Act, and the King County countywide planning policies. We have to be consistent with all of these. And so our timeline for the docket is, last year, as you know, we started some of the elements. We heard from the Parks Department. We worked with the Human Services Commission. We worked with the Arts Commission. We worked with the Economic Vitality Commission, and we got all sorts of good reviews and comments and edits from them. And we have almost all the elements pretty well put together. We're waiting for a little bit on utilities, and we're waiting for a little bit on the capital facilities. But other than that, you all have just trudged through a lot of amendments already. Tonight is the public hearing on the list. February, the Council Land and Shore Committee will look at the list you recommend, and hopefully they take action in March. This is a really great rendition of what the Land Use Code says is the process for the docket. And you'll see the big square in the upper middle that says PPC public hearing. This is also the last time that the public can give potential amendments to you all for your consideration. Code amendments are a different story. Land use code amendments can be done any time during the year, and we can do many, many of them if we have the time and the resources to do that. There's no state regulation that you can only do them once a year. Code changes are like the sign code, the subdivision code, that kind of thing, heights, setbacks, those kinds of things can be done throughout the year. There's no regulation on that. We used to actually have a docket of those, but since our staff has gotten smaller, we don't have a docket. We do try to get through some every year, but we aren't quite as efficient with all of the stuff going on to do a whole boatload of code amendments every year like we used to. This is in your packet, but this is the docket, the beginning, the first page of the docket, the first 7. This has mostly the annual update items, the capital facilities and the transportation improvement program, updating the population for the annual number that we receive from the state, doing our rezones for any land that we've purchased or has been dedicated to us this year. We get to have the bike and pedestrian action strategy that the council just approved the end of last year. We get to roll that into the comprehensive plan. These are the elements that we're updating. And the last ones are the new ones, that aren't, the first one is the annexation of the Lake Sammamish State Park, which happened last year. We worked on that all year, and the council approved that annexation, and that takes effect February 1st. So that's super. It'll be under the city's jurisdiction. The city will not own the park, but it'll be under our jurisdiction for permitting. We're going to help with some of the police aspects and help them with some of the pieces and parts that it was harder for them to work with the county. So they're real excited about this new partnership we'll have as well. The Talus Urban Village is also asking to take in one of their expansion parcels, the Emmerich parcel. There's a rezone on the docket in Old Town. It's Croston Lane. I have a map later on if you'd like to see that. And then the Land and Shore Committee asked for some policies on how to surplus land that the city owns. They wanted some criteria on how best to do that. So that's on our list. Here's the summary. The annual amendments are capital facilities and transportation improvement. We update population every year, and we do the rezones every year if we've acquired any land. The carryovers are from the central plan. Now that we've adopted that, we're redoing the sub-area boundaries. We're incorporating the bike and pedestrian action strategy that council just approved. The sustainability indicators that you all have looked at last year are going to become a part of the appendix of the plan. And then 7 through 15 are all the elements that you've already been working on. And then these are the new ones that I just mentioned. So tonight is the public hearing where we take public comment from our audience here and any phone-in calls that we might receive. February, the Council of Land and Shore will look at it, and hopefully March, there would be final action. Are there any questions from you all, or do you want to see maps of any of the 3 areas that would be rezoned or redesignated? Or any other questions?
I'd be interested to see those maps.
Okay. The first one is the park. Part of the park is already in the city. This is already in. But the rest of it, I'm sorry, yeah. The soccer field's already in, the rest of it, and the boat launch would be coming in February 1st. Any questions on the state park?
What's the little green tails on it? Is that part of the park? With the brown and the green, what's the coloring?
This is state park ownership as well, but it's already in the city. This is open space that is part of the state park.
Okay.
It's part of the King County future.
The same with the other one on the other side?
This?
Yeah.
This is open space right around the vet clinic that's
Right.
city owned.
It's city owned, okay, but it's not part of the park, okay.
And sorry, I know he's blinking at me because I wasn't on a mic, sorry.
Thank you.
This isn't a very good map at all, but this is in Old Town. You see north is up. I hate to say that. North is facing up, and Croston Lane, you can see, and I cut off the street. The top street is Bush Street, and the CF- open space, community facilities open space, is city-owned right now. It's steep and has some constraints, and the properties in front, we're trying to do a short plat, and we offered them to help them get the project to work. We sold them that land so that their impervious surfaces and their short plat and everything would work a little. They would have a little bit more room on those other parcels. So we have to rezone it from community facilities to single family this year.
Where is this at?
That's in Old Town, which is south of Sunset. It's actually right around here. It's
That's second on the left and Bush on top.
yes, Bush is to the north,
That is
correct?
second on the left.
Oh.
Right, and on a map,
6th Street on the left.
you can
that-
see it on the zoning map. It would be a tiny strip of green
So-
that looks oddly in an odd spot, and that's because it's got some constraints.
To the left, it says 6th on it, or is that 2nd Street? We coming off 2nd and Bush?
Like 6th Street.
I think it's 6th.
Okay, so then the map's turned around the other way, so that's
Whoops.
not. It's a whole different end of the neighborhood.
Oh, it won't let me jump in there. I can send you a better picture, but it's just right off of Croston Lane.
Yeah, but Croston's a long street, so I'm trying to figure out what cross street it's at.
You could see it, can you see it, Paul? It's the one with it's a little green
Yeah, it's.
open space.
6th and 4th.
Oh, okay.
So is it on top of the ridge?
I think it's kind of, it's definitely ridge-like. It's definitely steep and has some constraints in it.
Because these
Right, and it's the two parcels to the north that are going to take in that, so they'll have
And a
more,
sixth.
so they have more land.
Well, it's not 6 either. That would make sense.
They know where it is.
And I knew when I was searching for a map yesterday, I
You're
thought,
there? Oh,
Are they putting a bid in?
we'll have a better map when it comes time for the staff report, but that was all I could get from Jerry this morning. This one's a lot easier to explain. This is the Tallis Urban Village, and the Emmerich property. That was established during the development agreement negotiation that at some time in the future, if the owner decided to sell to the master developer, that it could come into the Tallis Urban Village. It's already had its environmental review on it. It's already had its land use established on it. You can see over at the side, it says potential expansion areas. It's 6.22 acres. They envisioned that someday Tallis would take that in. They just weren't ready for it when they signed all the documents. So that one, they've asked for that one to come in this year. Any questions on Tallis and Emmerich? Okay. Shall I let you talk amongst yourselves? Do you have any more questions on any of the amendments for me?
Well, before we do that, we should probably open up the public hearing.
Yes, we should. Good idea.
Okay.
We might want to take a break before we hear all that.
I don't have anyone that signed up for the public hearing.
So,
Missing people.
I know you're all at home watching with bated breath. So you probably could still hurry in and
Telephone call.
make your opinions known. But other than that, seeing no public comment, we'll open the public hearing and close the public hearing. Any
So moved,
discussion?
so moved.
If not, then Chair will entertain a motion to approve the docket.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Passed.
Anything else?
Nothing for the good of the order?
Okay. The next meeting is February 12th.
Shortest meeting.
And actually, the Land and Shore Committee will be in here right before we're in here, talking about the docket, and I think they have one other item that they're talking about, but we'll make sure we keep them out before 6:30, before it's our time. They can sit in the audience for us.
Okay.
Anything else?
Chris, did you get Justin's email?
Oh, I did.
Okay, because he was a positive on it as well.
Right, and I actually had it on top to read out loud. I'm glad you mentioned that,
Yeah.
because he's probably watching wondering, why didn't Tricia say that?
Yeah.
It was a very nice email. Did everyone get a chance to see? That he was in
Yeah.
favor of the document?
Favor of the docket.
He had really good kudos for how hard they all worked.
Yeah.
That was nice to read this afternoon. Thank you, Justin,
Hey.
wherever you're watching this.
In that case, no further business. We'll adjourn at 6:53. 6:48, excuse me, I can't read a clock.
Yeah, Pacific Standard.
Close enough.
You have the night off now.
You know, I told my wife I'd be out till 9.